Hey there! In today's session, we will learn about wireframes. We'll find out what they are, why they're made, and how to use Figma, one of today's best tools for UI and UX design, to create them. In this session, you'll follow along with me in making wireframes for a website. By the end of it, you'll be able to familiarize yourself with the main tools to make them yourself, sprinkled with some tips and tricks that professionals use to speed up their workflows. Before starting this project, make sure that you've registered and downloaded Figma to your machine. Now let's start with an empty project. Wireframes are low-fidelity early representations of digital interfaces. This is often used in the beginning of a project for a website or an app during the exploration stage because it's so easy and fast to create. Now, I have an idea to make a social media website for pets, but I don't know how it will look like yet, so let's quickly wireframe to discover and play around with it. Let's name our project. To do this, we click on the title bar, rename, and press enter. Easy. I want to start with a dashboard, or the feed that the user will see once they're logged in. To do that, we create our first frame, which will contain all the design elements we need. Press F to immediately select the frame tool. We know this is selected because the frame tool gets highlighted and the common frame dimensions are shown on the right. Conveniently, we can choose wireframe under desktop. And now we have our blank frame. Typically, we don't go and add any colors, images, or even selecting specific fonts, because at this point, these are simply not yet final or available. Remember, the main point of creating wireframes is figuring out the best layout and getting a sense of the flow before committing to add in any detail. First, I figure out which are the features or website sections I think the dashboard or user homepage would need. I can just map these sections out on the frame and see what it looks like. We can use rectangles as well to represent boxes of text to be supplied with later. It's good to rename the layers so it's clearer to see which sections we're working with. We do that by double-clicking the layer name, renaming, and pressing enter. Now we know which sections correspond to the features the website will have. And that's the first iteration. That's the beauty of a wireframe. It's very fast to create, and getting a visual representation out is useful in communicating your idea. Now, it might be easier if we put text on the rectangles so we know which sections they are, right on the frame. We do this by clicking the text tool and clicking on where we want the text to go. This is going to be the feed. I can change the font size on the right. I can center the text with a rectangle by clicking Align Horizontal Centers on the Align tool section on the right. We can group these two elements, and it will allow us to control and move them as one unit. We do this by selecting all the elements we want to group, right-clicking and selecting Group Selection, or by pressing Command G. Now when we move the section, it moves as one, and it's easier to tell what they represent on the frame. Let's do this for the other sections. You can see we can also change the colors of the rectangles so they're more distinct. We do this by changing the fill color on the rectangle's properties. Now we can create different variations. It's a breeze to change the order of the boxes in Figma. We do it by selecting the elements, then hovering. When a circle appears in the middle of the element, we click that and drag the element to change the order. See how it seamlessly drops it in. We can even change the padding between these elements by clicking and dragging on the rectangle icon in between the elements. We can create more iterations using this technique a few more times. Now that we've done a few different layouts, it's clear to me that I like this one, and now I can add in more details into what these sections are going to look like. We progressively add more details and see what the website areas are shaping up to become. It's only rectangles and circles at this point. I can add text so it's clearer what these shapes represent when shown to others. During the process of making wireframes, and especially when working with a team of people, feedback is important. The power of Figma lies in its ease of sharing and collaboration with all stakeholders. During meetings and presentations, we can add relevant comments right on our Figma file. We do this by clicking the Add Comment tool or pressing C and then clicking on the area we want to put our comment in. We add our comment and press Enter. And now the comments are right there within context. We can check all the comments on the right and it shows on the screen where it is. We can see that comments are an essential tool and Figma makes it easy to handle these, all within the file. Once the comment is no longer relevant and we've made the necessary changes, we can resolve the comment and it will no longer appear on the frame. And that's a wrap for today's tutorial. If you enjoyed learning with us, please give this video a like. Next time, we'll turn this wireframe into a high-fidelity mockup, ready to be implemented as an app or a website. Subscribe to get notified. How did you do? Isn't making wireframes fun and easy in Figma? Let us know in the comments below. Until then,